Welcome to the Real Estate Debate, where we debate the hottest topics in San Diego real estate. Let's meet today's panelists. Vincent Villafranca with Coldwell Banker West. Larry Abrams with the Barron Real Estate Group. Richard Woods with Woods Real Estate Services. And the co-host, the Vice President of CornerStone Mortgage Group, Sean Cahan.
Welcome to the Real Estate Debate. Beck, thank you so much for the great introduction. And gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate your time. Of course, my co-host, Sean Cahan, I'm going to go to you first. The big question, we had a great year in 2015.
We did.
Is 2016 going to be better than 2015?
I don't think it's going to be better. I think that it's going to stay strong. It's not going to kind of dip off like it did at the beginning of 2014 after what happened in 2013.
Okay.
I think we're going to see kind of like a plateau year where it's going to be kind of stable, which is nice.
Okay, you think stable?
Yeah.
Stable is what he says. I have a feeling someone disagrees.
I was about to say stable. Like, are we at Del Mar starting the horse races? I mean, there's nothing stable about our market since 2014.
Really?
I mean, there's been some stability, but I mean, to say better or worse, who's it better or worse for? I think is the question. Because it's going to be better for sellers, as always, and we've shown that and we've proved that in the last year and a half, let's say.
Sure.
And it's going to be harder for buyers. So it's better or worse. Whether it's better or worse, that's for I think the individual to decide, or for us as agents and loan officers and brokers and stuff to figure out who's it really better for.
Well, let's talk about homeowners.
I think homeowners in general, if you're not in, then it's worse. If you're in, then you're doing all right.
I actually disagree with that because I think once we get the relaxation in the condo market with respect to the loans that are available to first-time home buyers, then we'll get that millennial market to come back into play, and then we'll see a steady growth in 2016. Let's face it, we have very, very low inventory. I checked this morning, it's like 5,600 units total in the entire county available. I think sellers are going to realize that. They're going to start putting their inventory on the market, and we're going to see this market take off in 2016.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think the problem is as well, unless you're managing or your CPA is managing millennials' funds, they don't even have money to put down on a house right now. So there aren't enough millennials out there to even purchase homes because they're not managing their money correctly at the point. And that's why we're at the point where we're at right now, where we're like, we can sell all these homes, but we don't have enough people to buy them. And we do have people that are going to buy them, but not necessarily millennials at the higher end of the market. They're going to be, like you said, at the condo market. Yeah, they'll open up the condo market, but then once the people open up the condo market, where are those people going to go? You know, they might not necessarily have enough equity to move into the larger market.
Do we even need the millennials, though? I mean,
no,
marketplace?
no. They haven't done anything for us yet, so why do we need them now?
That's why I think they're going to open up and come into the market next year. I think we're going to see a big push in the millennial market, but we've got low unemployment. We've got people feeling good about where they are in San Diego County, and the county itself is performing well economically, which gives people that confidence to enter the real estate market. And there are markets, home market out in La Mesa that's gained 20-30% since the downturn. So those people are now seeing a return to equity. They either need to downsize or move up, the traditional things that we always see in real estate, and I think it's coming in 2016.
Vincent?
Well, I was listening to everybody here, and I think it really, for agents, it really depends upon the mindsets of our agents. Many agents are comfortable with selling 10 homes a year, right? Some are comfortable with selling 20 homes, 30 or more. Now, all of us, we're going to fight to do our certain level. And now, if they want to increase their production, they need to change their mindsets and go to where they're going to get deals. Whether deals are $100,000 condos or $800,000 homes in Scripps Ranch, we're going to get the deal because as professional agents, that's what we're going to do. So, now, looking at consumer confidence, inventory, that's all really great, but I go out and I find clients who want to buy or sell. That's what I do every year.
Right. So, I mean, the big question is, based on that then,
right,
what do you think will happen next year versus this year? In other words, will it be another banner year? I mean, 2015 is a banner year for San Diego real estate.
I think it's going to be a really good year for the agents that know where to get the business and how to be creative on finding new clients. Now, looking at all the stats, the economy, I have a degree in economics and I've taken masters in economics classes, but I've learned to kind of put the theory away and to do the practical application of helping people buy and sell.
Okay, that's it. Anyone have anything to say on that?
I mean, I think it goes back to what Mr. Wood said like earlier. I mean, there's stats and things that are coming out. Like Forbes has stated that San Diego is going to be the 6th best real estate investment market in the country going into 2016.
Wow.
I mean,
Forbes? Investment market?
Yeah.
For what reasons?
I don't know. They're just saying. I don't know. I saw.
Sean, do you disagree with that?
I didn't get into the article. It was just like Forbes ranking the top 10 real estate investment markets in the country, and it was like San Diego was 6th. And in front of us were obviously the southern states like New Orleans, Austin, Houston, Dallas, the states that normally do well in those kind of markets anyways. But I didn't get into the schematics of what it really said. But just
Well, let's find out for real, because Sean's a big real estate
Yeah.
investor. So, Sean, do you think Forbes has it wrong?
Absolutely. I mean, not a ton of investors are going to be buying in San Diego in 2016 at the current market where it is, because unless the rents are going to come up, but the only way the rents are going to come up is
if income comes
in
up.
case the income comes up, and there's nothing
gonna
that's
happen.
like all over the place that it's saying, hey, we're going to be making more money right now. We're just, I mean,
But
it's
doesn't
going to be
traditionally
more
when
of a
interest- Doesn't traditionally when interest rates go up, rental market goes up because the demand for rent goes up because less people can afford the interest rate hike in purchasing a home?
My office does property management, and we're seeing increases in rent across the board. In
Yeah.
fact, I saw George Chamberlain today on the news. He said there was a 7% increase in rents in San Diego County over the last year, so they're doing nothing but increasing. A studio apartment on average is renting for about $1,050. If you're looking
you wanna buy.
to sell an investment property, you should be getting your rents up in line with what the market's telling you they should be, so that it becomes more attractive to a buyer. And I do think the buyers are there, they're ready to do this in this marketplace. There's a shortage of inventory again in the real estate investment side of the market.
Isn't there kind of a catch-22 with regard to people who, the inventory issue that keeps coming up, right? If you want to sell a home, where are you going to go? You know, you locked in at 3 1/4, a
Yeah.
couple years ago, right? You bought this place and it's gone up in value and it sounds great. I'm going to sell it and make a bunch of money, tax-free. It's been a couple years, but
Where are you going to?
where am I going?
Well, say for example, if you're
so
an agent,
that's a problem.
if you're an agent and you want to list a property, if that person wants to leave San Diego and go to Arizona or whatever, he's going to sell no matter what because he's going to do well if he bought the property 3 to 5 years ago. If you're looking to sell and you want to downsize or upsize, you have to work with an agent who knows contingent sales and knows how to work those deals and knows how to work 3-headed deals where there's multiple buyers and sellers. Now, the experienced agents are going to do well with those. The new agents that came into the market in 2013, they're not going to know what a contingent sale is. They typically came in working buyers, and now they're not going to be able to sell that cheap money loan anymore. Like, Mr. Buyer, buy this property, your interest rate is 2.9%, you wouldn't be smart to buy. So now they can't play that card anymore because rates have gone up, because they're still thinking 3% when rates are over 4%.
But have rates
Yeah,
gone
but
up that much, though?
No,
I mean,
really,
honestly.
but I think it goes back to what you were saying anyways. But even if you wanted to sell your house, where are you going to go?
Yeah.
If you
Because-
leave San Diego, you're
Well,
good.
if you're leaving,
If you're
then
leaving,
that's-
you're good.
yes,
But I
that's-
mean, even within here, I mean, our office is in Scripps Ranch. How many people can sell in Scripps Ranch for $1 million, then move down the street for $1 million? There's not that much inventory there.
Yeah, that's the
you know.
thing.
So
Not gonna
it's,
happen.
I think up until this last month, all the buyers were kind of like, oh, I'm going to wait till spring, or I'm going to wait till February. I'm going to kind of let's see what the market does in a couple months. And now, as the talks of whatever the talks may be, well, if they raise it 0.5%, whatever it may be, everyone's going like, oh my God, I got to go now. I got to go now. I got to go now. So I think, it's just one of those things. Come January, February, we'll be back in that market where no one wants to buy.
Well, let's see if that even makes sense, though. I want to ask Sean this because, okay, secret's out. This is a pre-recorded session, okay? We aren't doing this live right now. I'm just going to let the cat out of the bag.
But it's a secret. You told everybody.
Sometimes you have to. Sean, there's a meeting tomorrow.
yes.
An important meeting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Everyone's anticipating a raise in interest rates for the Fed. Can you school us on what that means and
Well,
what it actually might
short-term
do?
interest rates. It's
Yeah.
a prime. It's the Fed rating, so we're going to go up 0.25%. So it needs to start the trend. The government needs to be around like 5 to 6% on prime. Being at 3 1/4 for like 5 years is not healthy, and so it's not technically actually going to raise our 30-year product, which is a long-term interest rate. Technically, what actually might happen is the short term might go up on a small, short-term basis, and the 30-year actually might drop.
Do you think they might raise rates, and that could cause 30-year mortgage rates to go down?
To go down for a short period of time.
How could that be?
How long?
On like a 2 or 3 week basis, because it's just they're just different markets, and
Just sort of shifting money around.
Exactly.
So they're like robbing Peter to pay Paul.
No, technically,
I mean,
I think Peter's robbing Paul.
More and more people are going to be buying bonds. When more
Yeah.
and more people buy
Got it.
bonds, what that does is it
drops
drops our 30-year product
'Cause the
down.
bonds
So
are
when
in
a
the market,
30-year
yeah.
product can go down, that's when the interest rates. So technically, it might be actually a really good thing. Over the last couple of days, we've lost probably about like 50 to 60 basis points. Okay, because everyone's anticipating it going up, and so no one's been locking. And then all of a sudden, if you look at any trend reports or any of the mortgage-backed securities, everyone's saying, hey, hold off for a little bit. Let's just wait to actually see what happens in the next 0 to 21 days. We actually are telling everyone to float. because the 30-year product might actually.
Well,
get a little bit
outside of what-
softer.
See what I mean?
Outside of what he's talking about of all this economic data, whenever you're working with a first-time buyer, they're not looking at bond rates. They're not looking at that stuff. When you're working with people that are coming in and out to San Diego, job reloads, military, they're looking for a great school district. They got 2 kids. What's my payment? That's all they care about. If you talk about with them with consumer confidence, he'll look at you like this, and all he wants to do is buy a house that's close to the base. So sometimes a lot of agents tend to try to give too much information to show that they know all this, but it doesn't matter because the buyer's looking to buy the military guy and he wants to stay there for 8 years. He sees a rate at 4%, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree 1,000% with that. It is not. I do not sell interest rates. I just have this knowledge because I have to, because I have
Yeah.
to read it, because I get.
You're the lender, so
questions.
you're supposed
Well,
to
you
have
have
that
to tell
knowledge.
us. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
but on like a basis, like when a client comes, hey, this is what your interest rate's gonna be, and if they feel comfortable with you, that's why so many banks out there. I mean, there's like 130 spread, on an FHA and VA between us and somebody else. But guess what? If that client feels good with that other loan officer, that 134 basis point spread, they're not even going to notice the difference. They're going to go with a higher rate.
When you're talking about new agents that have entered the market, people that came into the market 2013, I mean, brand new people, they're used to selling cheap money. Now, when rates are go up, they're going to have to sell more. They're going to have to sell stability, tax deductions, not worrying about the landlord raising rates. So we're going to have to work with buyers and really educate them on the whole benefits of buying a property now, not just one thing.
I wrote an article for the UT when I was the executive director over there for the real estate department, and it was specific. The headline was this: buying a house is not an investment; it's a hedge.
Exactly.
Correct.
And you're hedging the market. So you are fixing in your payment at a certain level to hedge against what might happen out there in the middle market.
We're in San Diego. It's
That's
going to
what it is.
happen.
it's like buying a
Yeah.
large-scale bond that doesn't move.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I equate it to. I mean, because that's really what it is. It's a 30-year bond that you sit there. Whenever you want to cash it in, you can cash it in at any point. It's your money.
You know what, Larry?
Yeah.
We've heard a lot from you today, but I don't know if we got a specific prediction from Larry. I know Sean said flat.
I say good.
Rich said banner year, 2016. He thinks it's going to be
Yeah.
huge. 2016. What do you think, Larry?
I might have to go and piggyback on what Mr. Wood says. I think
Really?
it's going to be a banner year. Even in the neighborhood where I'm born and raised and lived there for almost 40 years, we have a 3% turnover standard year over year. Citywide is 5.5%, 6%. We're at 3%. I've never seen more homes being sold and bought in my neighborhood in all 40 years of my existence.
Wow. What neighborhood is that?
Del Cerro.
Del Cerro.
Yes. When I see that in a neighborhood like that, I can only imagine what's going to happen into a La Jolla, a Scripps Ranch, a Miramar, a Del,
Isn't this
Del
the
Mar.
baby boomer effect we thought was
Yeah.
going to come at some point?
Yeah.
Now it's here. I mean,
Now
those
it's here.
people are retiring. They do have equity in their homes as long as they
they want to move to an
They were all
island or move
conservative
to a
instead
home.
of pulling out
Yeah.
lines of credit and running up the debt on their house. So here we are. We are at that point where now they're going to transfer that to the Gen X and other places.
Yep.
So we can see that market continuing, which is why we're going to have a really good year in 2016.
Wow.
What's
You're
happening
starting to
in Del
convince me.
Mar?
Well, no, I'm not saying. I'm just saying whatever happens in Del Cerro. I think like Del Cerro is like that niche community that you really got to know kind of people to get in. It's like one of those. It's like, called like a private community within a private community. We only have 3% turnover, but if I see the turnover start to turn to 4 or 5 over there, I can only imagine what's going to happen in the larger communities where they already have a standard 5.5 to 6% turnover rate over the course of the year. That's what's just I'm anticipating. Plus, they're building a new development. First development ever going to go in the Del Cerro area. It's since 1970, I want to say 72 was the last home built in that community. They're building a brand new 25 home development, standard 1,700 square foot homes.
Who's
all
the
way up.
builder?
Coleridge.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that.
So, with that being said, I mean, that lot has been zoned since 1959 and no one's bid on it. And now we're in 2015 and they're going to build 25 homes in a canyon that's been zoned for 40, 50 years. I mean, that
I don't know how they're going to build those homes in that hole.
I don't know either.
I know
but
where it is, dude.
I'd
It's
rather
a
have
hole.
I'd rather have homes than bums in the hole, so it works out perfect.
Okay, Vincent, I got to corner you now because
Yes.
I haven't heard from you yet. So
Corner me.
we got flat from Sean. Banner
Stable.
years. Stable. He's sorry.
He's
sorry.
stable. But
That's
he's
very
playing
positive.
it easy. He's a lone guy. He can't go like that's
Sure
like
he can. He
that's
does
like
it
a
all the
stock guy.
time.
He's
I
like a
do it all
stock
the
guy.
time.
He's not gonna
He
go
does
left
it
or
all the
right.
time.
No.
He does it all the time. Vincent, what do you think? 2016 versus 2015.
For me, it's going to be a really, really good year. But for the
I don't know about y'all.
I don't know about
gonna
you
be a great
guys.
year for
I
me.
don't know
Lone
where your
Ranger.
mindsets are, but I'm gonna have the best year ever. So, but now here's the thing: newer agents are gonna go by the wayside. They're gonna fall a little bit because there's new things that they're gonna see that they're not gonna know how to handle.
Okay.
Experienced agents who've done contingent sales, we're in the short tail market. I don't want to say smarter, but the more experienced, they're gonna do well also.
You think we're going to see short sale market again?
No.
Better in 2016 for the whole market, not just you. I
You-
know
you've
we know it's
said-
going to be
you've
good
asked
for
him
you.
this
Better,
3 times.
better.
They still have one.
Better.
I will keep asking you.
Better.
You will answer me, man.
He says
Better.
better.
Okay, better. So,
Much better.
Sean Cahan, we have to wrap this up. I can't believe we're already done.
Wow.
Do you believe these guys? Are they overly optimistic?
I mean, I like where they're going.
Okay.
I like. I really like the San Diego market. Been here 11 years,
Yeah.
and I always wanted to do better, right? Because there's no advantage of it not doing better. I would just have to be sometimes, I think, a little bit realistic on price. So does better mean that the prices are going to go up another 5, 6, 7%? Not really sure about that, but maybe there's more turnover,
More transactions, more
more
volume.
transactions.
Yeah, that
So
would be good. More
it just
liquidity.
depends on like what our end goal is. Like, do we think that it's going to be better for what reason?
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
Great stuff. Thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate your time. Vincent, Larry, Richard, Sean, of course. Thank you guys so much for being here. That's it for the Real Estate Debate, where we make you smarter than everyone else about San Diego real estate.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good to see you.